So Sadia Khan, if you guys don't know, is like a fucking YouTuber. She's like a fake psychologist or whatever the fuck. So Sadia Khan had this interview. This was what, 2 years ago? When did this happened? Yeah, December 28, 2022.
Doing OnlyFans, these men are not going to come to your funeral.
Because of the common cold, you're not allowed to leave your house, for example.
Now, this is in Dubai. I had done an interview with Tam Khan before.
They put you out of business and they wreck you.
Whether you're taking money or you're accepting gifts, it's like prostitution.
Yeah, the same women who think empowerment is showing my ass and breasts, getting a Chanel bag and holding a champagne glass on a private jet. I'm empowerment. That's not empowering. For me, that is prostitution, like you say. Have you ever seen an issue with him? I want to know, as a woman. Now you're on the camera. This is going to go out.
Go on, tell the world I'm horrible.
You've got to both have your opportunity.
They've indoctrinated women into thinking that freedom comes from expression of sexual liberation, 100%. But that only makes you a commodity for men. They think that the world should think the way they think. It's no different to racism.
So let's have your opinions on this, man.
Yeah, and she's so excited because she was like, oh, yay. So this interview right here has kind of like got her on the map. And I'm showing you guys this just for relevance so that you guys can see like how this kind of started. So I made a tweet about this. Sadia Khan is a fraud. She's been talking shit on me for years after I refused to platform her on Fresh and Fit because of her entitled attitude when I was in Dubai 1 to 2 years ago. She was just exposed for allegedly cheating with an engaged man as a side piece, undermining her credibility. Years ago, I called out her claims of being in a long-term relationship and presenting herself as a high-value woman, despite the fact that I knew for certain she was actually single and purposely lying on every podcast she went on earlier in her career. The worst part, men take her seriously, spending thousands on her consultations. Let me be clear, gentlemen. Female dating coaches advising men are generally ineffective. Why? Because women cannot fully empathize with the male experience. They'll never live it or truly understand it. Women navigate dating with inherent advantages, making it nearly impossible for them to offer practical strategies to boost your sexual market value, or SMV, or effectively approach women as a man because they have zero clue. Never ask the fish how to fish, ask the fisherman. That's kind of what, that was my tweet at the beginning. And I'm going to kind of go through a bunch of this shit with you guys, right? Where she's talking shit on me and we're going to respond to some of this stuff. Because this is where she first took shots at me. And I'll tell you guys why she took shots at me. This was an interview that she did over 2 years ago. Okay. With Mike Thurston. If you guys remember, he has a podcast called First Things First. I did an interview on his podcast. And you know what's funny? The day we filmed this podcast, I interviewed with him first, and she came later on that day and did an interview with him as well. He dropped my interview first, then he dropped hers after. Let me see if I could.
He's more than likely not.
So this is the interview that I did with him, right? Yeah. February 26, 2023. So he put this out like a day or two after, and then he put hers out like a week later. But we did the interview on the same day. Because I remember him telling me that either she interviewed... Okay. He interviewed her. We did on the same day. I forget if I went first or she went first, but the point is that she told him she was in a relationship, which wasn't true. She lied. That was not true at all. She lied. Okay, so let's go ahead and cover this. So she's going to, I guess, debunk my book.
To teach adults how to be good parents. And we can't do that if we're saying, oh, she's a hoe and he's this and men are trash and women, it doesn't lead to healthy homes. So.
And there's a lot of Red Pill stuff out there. And even I was getting worried. I was like, I don't want this podcast to start going down that route.
What were some of the most scandalous things that I can try and debunk?
Oh, you have to read his book.
Absolutely not.
You have to read the book.
I would rather eat...
So didn't even read my book, but she's over here talking shit.
Carpet. I'm not going to read his book. That would be an insult to my brain cells.
I think it was just the way he was going on about how women are technically adding less value in society, so they deserve less out of it. That's very generalized.
How they define value.
Well, it's more than that. It's also that I tell guys that you got to prioritize yourself over women, because the problem is that, number one, you have to provide a whole bunch of value to even get dates. And then number two, women are super hypergamous nowadays and bring their own value. So you need to bring, you got to, number one, create a bunch of value for yourself and then not make women the priority. Make yourself the priority, become successful, and then women are a byproduct of it.
Is like, we build the infrastructure, we build the roads, we build this and that and the other. And it's just like, but that's not society.
That is society. What are you talking about? Without roads, without infrastructure, there is no society.
is also who teaches children how to eat, who teaches children what time to go to bed, who teaches
these are things that you can learn on your own.
Children, like, they don't look at life through the lens of a child. And that's not the person who you should listen to advice from. Listen to the person who understands what children need from a mother and what children need from a father. I've heard some red pill talk say, children don't need a father to be present.
And this is why single fathers do better than single mothers. If mothers were so imperative, right, where that kid would be a fuck up without the mother, why is it that single fathers do better in every single category than single mothers? So, debunked again.
They just need the father to come once in a while, give them an inspiration, and then go.
And mind you, guys, she didn't even read my book, so she's literally talking out of her ass right now. She didn't even read my book by her own admission.
That's not true. Women don't need, especially girls, they need a consistent father figure. They need a father that they can call when
thanks for proving my point that fathers are needed.
Their car tire is flat. They don't want a dad that just comes every once a month just to inspire them. They need someone that makes them feel safe and nurtured. Otherwise, she will find a man that does it. She will find a man that does it, and it leads to promiscuous women. So don't teach men to be emotionally distant. Teach them to love women, not to just give them less. That doesn't create healthy daughters.
Well, that's your first YouTube video idea. Reviewing that book.
Absolutely not. Because what if somebody reads it?
No, but like that would be a great video. Because
I need to do a conversation with Myron at some point. Myron impression fit.
You need an opposing point of view. You need to be that person who debunks.
Was there anything else that I should debunk on that?
Yeah, there was a lot. That's why you need to read it and review.
So this is the beginning of her talking smack, right?
Yeah.
I can't read that book.
You can.
My brain, I can't dishonor my brain.
The book is literally less than 100 pages, and you can get it on audio too.
By reading that book, but I'll try and listen to bits and bobs of it. I will try and listen to bits and bobs, but what I would say is when you're consuming content as a man,
it's funny because she took a bunch of my talking points, but she says that I don't want to read it.
And if you leave the content feeling more angry and negative about relationships rather than inspired on how to make it better, stop watching it. Stop watching it. Just stop. Men and women.
Okay, so this is women, right? This is like a perfect example of women operating on, since they operate on easy mode, dating isn't as frustrating for them, right? So let me explain what I mean by this. So as a man, right? Like, not only do you have to be attractive, but you still got to deal with bullshit to get women, right? Now with women, they don't have to do anything. The men come to them. So every mistake that they make with women is their fucking fault. Does that make sense? Sorry, every mistake that they make with men is their fucking fault, right? So let's say, right, you have two individuals, right? This is a brand new analogy. I've never used it before. I just thought of it now. Let's say you got two individuals, right? One party has to make money to buy water. The other party is offered water just by existing, right? The party that has to buy the water, he has to buy the water, taste it, and realize it's bad, right? But he had to put in the work, get the money to spend said money to get water to drink it. Okay? The other party has an assortment of water, different bottles of water, and they go ahead and decide and pick the wrong water, and it tastes bad, right? Who's worse? The person that had the selection of water and just picked the wrong one, or the person that had to work, get the money, and then buy the water? You can make the argument that the person that had the choice of water and didn't have to pay for it, they're retarded. And they deserve the bad tasting water. Why? Because they had the ability and the choice to look at all the other bottles of water there, get a sip here in there, and they still picked the wrong water. Meanwhile, you as the man, you gotta fucking make money, get status, buy the water to realize it sucks. Or you could be a nigga like me. You could watch a nigga like me who's a water reviewer, and I tell you the design is bad. I tell you the Aquafina is trash. I tell you Fiji's a scam. And then you're like, okay, I need to get my own water and filter it. There you go.
Welcome, punch!
Right? So with men, a lot of the times, unless they're smart, they got to drink bad water to figure it out. But they have to earn the ability to drink the water in the first place. Women, on the other hand, are offered the water. So when she's saying this shit about, oh, if you're watching content, because I'm bringing this back full circle. When she's saying shit Like, if you're watching content and it makes you mad, it's bad. She's speaking from a position of privilege because women don't deal with the same frustration in dating as men. The frustration from women is self-imposed. Okay? It's self-imposed because they picked that guy who was the wrong guy, and then they get shit on and they get mad. Versus for the men, we have to fucking be in a position where the girl will even pick us. Does that make sense, chat? So when she says shit like, oh, if the content makes you mad, it's bad, it's not about making you mad. It's about men have been lied to about bitches for so long that of course they're going to be mad when they finally figure out the truth. Men, since the beginning of their life, from being a little boy, they're told, treat women well, be a gentleman, open a door, for a lady, ladies first, all this shit. We are indoctrinated from a young age to pedestalize women. Okay? So when you finally find out that being a nice guy is a waste of fucking time and these don't appreciate it, guess what happens? You fucking rage because everything you were told about was a lie. Women, on the other hand, are not taught how to treat men well. They're not taught to be fucking good ladies around men. They're not taught to do anything really for the express consent of men at all. So when women watch content on men and they rage, a lot of the times it's because they made bad fucking decisions. They at least got the privilege of dealing with the opposite gender to learn. Men don't. Okay? A lot of the times when girls end up hating men, it's their fucking fault. And most of the time, if we're going to go all the way, most of the time that I've seen girls hate men, you want to know why? 9 out of 10 times when girls hate men, they're fucking they're sex workers. They're OnlyFans girls. They're women that basically see the evilest side of men, aka the perverse sexual nature of perverts. That's what most of the time when I deal with women that they say I hate men, they're stupid. Meanwhile, with men, you could take the nicest guy, you could take the fucking best guy. Because a lot of times they're innocent. They're just taught from a young age. Be a good guy, all this other shit. Then they wake up to female nature. Yeah, they're going to be pissed because they've been lied to. They've been lied to. At least with bitches, they understand and they deal with men from the beginning. So they kind of know what it is. With men, we don't find out damn near till it's too late sometimes with these girls. So when Sadia Khan says this stupid shit about, the content shouldn't make you mad, she clearly doesn't understand the male struggle because most guys have been lied to about women for the majority of their adult life. And they don't figure out the truth about women until they've been burned. Whether they lost thousands of dollars, they've been to jail for domestic violence, they got a fucking Me Too accusation against them, they got kicked out of a school, they got their heart broken, lost a lot of money, whatever the fuck it is. Men typically don't learn about female nature until it fucking hurt them physically or financially. Women, on the other hand, deal with men all the time, and they get burned for being whores. Does that make sense? So one side of frustration comes from being lied to. The other side of frustration comes from lying to yourself. The men are lied to about women by society. The women lie to themselves. That's the key distinction.
Women, if you are a woman watching a podcast and you're thinking men are trash at the end of listening to it, stop listening to it. Listen.
No, a lot of times they come to that conclusion because they're fucking stupid and they've been burned by men and they hate men just from being sex workers.
This is something that I see.
Girls that are in relationships that have guys, guess what? They watch my show and they're like, oh, no, makes sense. Makes sense. My husband says the same thing. My boyfriend says the same thing. How many fucking married girls or women in relationships watch our shit? A lot. I would argue, I'll take it a step further. Most of the women that fuck with Fresh and Fit and watch my content have a fucking boyfriend. Unlike Sadia Khan's dumbass audience. Guaranteed, if you were to take the percentage of women that watch my show, a staggering majority of them are in relationships. Staggering majority.
Thinking, this is how I'm going to build a home. This is the type of mother I want to be. Children are really inspiring. I know they're tiring and horrible and annoying, but I really do want to add that value to them.
Yeah, because I think a lot of the time when there has been podcasts and female guests on podcasts, they are literally the worst representative of the female population.
Absolutely.
I'm like, really? Like,
it's like I can't
these
watch it.
are the
Well, here, see, Mike, Thurston is being nice there. No, a lot of these women think that way, and they're just stupid, as we saw at the college campus. Regardless of education level, a lot of women are stupid.
Women
That you're
that are going to be the
choosing.
voice.
Yeah. Does it scare you about the next generation of children?
Oh, yeah. I think well, first of all, social media is going to turn their brain to mush. They have no attention span. But I don't like the idea of everyone being so soft, particularly men just being really soft.
Soft and easily offended and so sexualized.
All right, so that's what she had to say. So here we go here. So this is when I was in Access Vegas with Rolo and a couple guys and reacted to a video from her.
They pick
To highlight what's happening right now, Rolo. You might like this video too.
I might.
They pick wisely. They pick super wisely. They're highly selective with the women that they choose. And then when they've chosen her correctly, they spoil her endlessly. They put her through the ringers. It's like, you know, when you go to 6-7 rounds of an interview to get into those.
And the thing is, this is what truly high value men do, which is interesting that she's talking about this when I've been telling guys to vet girls for years now.
Corporate jobs, they make you go through interview after interview after interview, a bit like going to a Harvard application. When you get to Harvard, they treat you well. Your life is set.
I've literally used that example. Bro, she be watching my shit and biting my shit, bro.
But up until that point, they put you through it. What Fresh and Fit teach is take any kind of woman and then don't give her too much, play games, treat her harshly.
Oh, she hates.
That's not what high value men do. They've got a reputation.
See, so you guys saw what she did there? She takes my talking point because I've literally used a Harvard example and law firm example plenty of times. She bastardizes my position, and then she tries to say that we tell guys to use and abuse girls. No, we tell them to put them through a fucking vetting process where she's got to prove that she's worthy. It's not enough for her to just come with her fucking resume. She's got to be put on probation as well. Why do you think when you get a job, right? When I was an agent, and I became an agent with HSI, guess what they did? The first year you're on probation, even though I went through the background check, I went through the fucking urine test, I went through the fucking, all the bullshit, credit checks, all that shit. They still had me on a probationary period for a year, even after I got the job. Why? Because now they got to see if I'm fit for the job. I have the qualifications now to see if I actually qualify. Same exact thing with women. She has the resume, cool. We're going to put you through your paces for 6 months to a year. Probationary period. And this is, again, explains what I'm talking about when it comes to women like Sadia Khan. And this is why female dating coaches will never understand. She's taking my position, misrepresenting it, and then saying, oh yeah, they're telling you to like treat women like shit. No, you put them through their fucking paces. But again, women don't go through the hero's journey. Women don't do hazing. Women don't go through a rite of passage like men do. So this whole concept to her is a foreign concept. She doesn't understand it because she's a woman. And she also doesn't understand that since women have so much goddamn leverage in relationships, you must fucking put her through her paces and have her qualify to you for 6 months to a year. But since women are never in a position where they have to vet their partner to the same degree that men have to vet their partners, she has no fucking idea. And this is another example of what I mean when I say female dating coaches are stupid. They operate with many blind spots. And though she's bastardizing and taking my talking point, she can't actually explain it, which you guys can see right now.
They can't just take any old girl and then try and train her. They ain't got time for that. They take a woman who's been well trained by her family. This is what.
Yeah, that cuts the fucking learning curve down. And I literally say all the time, get a girl that has a strong father with her dad. Get a girl that comes from a good family. What the fuck is she talking about? Again, totally mischaracterizing my position, doesn't understand proper dynamics.
Truly high
So
value.
I just did a reaction video to this.
Can you believe that?
Very clip. So here's the thing. Here's where Sadia is incorrect. Because what she's saying what might have made sense like 50 years ago, but she believes that there are these high status men that have this plethora of good women to choose from, and the statistics show us different. And I think because Sadia is not a man trying to be with a high status woman, I don't think that's...
And she is not a legal psychologist either. We already have established that.
I don't think...
We'll
give her a mic,
fraud and
we'll give her a mic.
I don't think that's from her standpoint. She doesn't see it enough. I understand in a vacuum that sounds great, guys. Well, here's what we need to do. Let's all just have fucking high standards, and we'll all just have good traditional women that'll come to us. But then but that's not reality. In reality, we'll walk around and we'll.
Yeah, and not only that, like you're gonna have to train girls nowadays, bro. Like getting a girl like that's perfect from her family, very difficult to find nowadays.
meet some really fucking hot girls, and they're fucking crazy. And then we have.
I think it's harder for you to meet a traditional woman than Joe Blow on the street.
Yeah, for sure. Because the non-traditional women are I used to say this about Bilzerian. Dan might meet the hottest girl. He loves them. They totally get along, whatever. But as soon as the girl goes to the bathroom, 6 big titty strippers walk in and like push her out of the way. And that, you're right. If you have more status, then it definitely becomes more difficult. Sadia Khan did say something else that I thought was interesting. It was another clip. She said that the average 19-year-old girl now has had sex with more men than the average 53-year-old woman now. She said, and it's when I thought about that, it's like that's kind of hard. That's probably true. Yeah, the average 53-year-old woman, about average 53-year-old woman, never had a period where she felt the necessity to do that. And like, so it's true. The average 19-year-old girl probably does have a higher body count than the average 53-year-old woman.
Wild. Let me respond to this with this super chat right here. Okay, this is Johnny D143. Thank you.